Hi, everybody. I want to talk about what I think is a very key card for the Wild West era deck, and that's the bank card. Now, the bank card is interesting because you kind of like the port card in the medieval deck. This card is all about timing, and you basically have two choices with it, and that's do I play this card early or do I play it later on? And there's different rewards and risks that come with either choice. Obviously, if you play it early on, you're going to get those money symbols should you have the resource cards out, which you should or you likely will have these at least one out because there's so many of them. There's six, but it's also a good idea with this deck to really use a large hand, not put too many cards in the build pile. Really open up your hand, get a lot of cards, so you can be dropping these Great West resource cards as much as possible. Getting out those free settlers, of course. So the question is, well, should you play the bank as soon as you draw it? And I guess the answer is that depends. So the bank is very weak. It's only got a 3 military defense, but it gives you 2 free points. And it's going to be obviously a juicy target for the bandit, which your opponent can quite easily play. And the thing is, if you play this at the wrong time, you're going to lose it. And I think if you approach this card as just a fun bonus card at the beginning of the game and you quickly lose it, I think I think it's a really bad mistake. And I'm almost to the point where I feel that it's very difficult for the Wild West deck to win the game without this card being played properly. That's my opinion, at least. Um, so, with the bank card, I think what's critical is if you do play it early, make sure that you're also focused on getting out at least one posse card. Now, can a posse easily take out a bandit? No, especially just with one attack, because you're going up against a 5. But at least it draws fire psychologically. It your opponent starts thinking, oh, I don't want to lose my bandit, so I need to take out the posse first. And sometimes that can be enough to give you a little more breathing room to get a second posse out or to flourish it so that you have a better chance at defending the bank. But if there's no bandit out and you get a second posse card, I think you should not flourish it. I think it's better so that when the bandit comes out, you have 2 symbols that can go against his 5. But if there's more than one bandit, I do think it's important to flourish a posse, and then in the event that there's a bunch of bandits out there, I would probably just try to make this card invincible, or I should say essentially invincible, because it would be a 10 defense if it's flourished this way. And that way you can always, address the bandit problem, because that's going to, if there's a ton of bandits out, it's going to pose a problem when you finally create a town as well, and not just this card. So, yeah, so if you're playing a bank early on, you have to manage these posse cards really well and really. So the other option here is to play the bank late in the game. The problem with that is, what if you don't draw it? There's only 4 copies of this card, and while it's rare that this happens, I at least have played games where, okay, I got my town out. Okay, now I can play the bank and get those points, and I'll have the sheriff uh, the sheriff to protect my bank, so I don't have to worry as much about that. But sometimes you don't draw the bank. So trying to play this card completely safe can really backfire. And sometimes you just have to take a risk and play it a little earlier than you want. But the nice thing is, if you do play the bank early and you got your setup with the posse, however you decide to do it, then sometimes you don't even have to play the sheriff at the end of the game, and instead you can focus on playing these far cheaper Pony Express cards, which are a 3 versus a cost of 6. So your deck will be a lot efficient if you can avoid having to play the sheriff, as fun and as cool as he is. Okay, thanks for watching.